That noodle packet is one well-timed egg away from feeling like dinner. We'll keep the noodles springy, the egg just set, and the greens bright, without turning a 2-minute meal into a project. One extra minute spent in the right place changes the whole bowl. The sad version happens when everything boils together for too long. The noodles go soft, the egg turns ragged, the greens turn dull, and the seasoning packet makes the broth harsh before you taste it. Instant noodles are fast, but fast does not mean every ingredient wants the same amount of heat. Start with 1 pack of noodles, 1 egg, a handful of quick cooking greens, and leftover protein if you have it. Keep the seasoning packet nearby, but do not promise it the whole bowl yet. Scallion, sesame oil, chili oil, or a squeeze of lime can help, but the main upgrade is still timing.
Choose greens that cook quickly. Spinach, bok choy leaves, napa cabbage, shredded cabbage, or frozen peas. Big raw vegetables are not wrong, but they need a head start and will throw off the noodle timing if you treat them like spinach. For this bowl, thin and fast is better than big and crunchy. Treat the seasoning packet like salt, not destiny. Start with half or 2/3, then taste after the egg and greens are in. Add-ins dilute the broth a little, but some packets are still strong. If you start with everything, the only repair is more water, and more water can make the noodles softer. Use a pot with enough water for the noodle block to move. Too little water makes the noodles fight each other, and the starch can turn the broth thick before the egg goes in. Too much water makes the packet taste thin. Start near the package amount, then adjust by tasting instead of guessing.
Start the noodles first, but stop thinking of the package time as a command. Loosen the block as soon as it bends. A loose noodle mass cooks evenly. A tight block gives you mushy edges and a firm center. The noodles should separate while they still have bounce. Stop the noodles slightly before they feel done. They keep softening in the hot broth and again in the bowl. If they are perfect in the pot, they may be tired by the time you sit down. Pulling back a little gives the egg and greens time to finish without turning the noodles into mush. Add quick greens near the end. They only need a short dip to turn bright and tender. If they go in with the dry noodle block, they give up freshness while the noodles are still cooking. Add them when the noodles are almost springy, then push them under the broth for a brief wilt. For a soft egg, keep the boil calm. Crack the egg into a small bowl first, then slide it in. Spoon hot broth over the top until the white turns opaque. A hard boil breaks the egg apart before it sets. Food safety guidance is to cook the white and yolk firm. If you prefer a soft yolk, use a pasteurized egg, especially for anyone at higher risk from foodborne illness. For egg ribbons, beat the egg first. Turn the heat low, stir the broth in one direction, and pour slowly. The egg should form soft ribbons, not foam. If you pour too fast or boil too hard, the egg turns into rough pieces and clouds the broth. Slow pouring gives a smoother texture. Leftover cooked protein goes in late. Chicken, tofu, dumplings, or sliced sausage only need to warm through if they are already cooked. If you boil them from the start, they can get tough and the noodles pay the price. Cut large pieces small so they heat quickly without stealing time from the noodles.
Taste after the toppings are in. If the broth tastes flat, add more packet. If it tastes too salty, add a splash of hot water or hold back some broth when serving. If it tastes heavy, a little scallion, lime, vinegar, or chili oil can brighten it. The packet starts the flavor. Tasting finishes it. If the broth is too salty, dilute carefully. Add hot water a little at a time, not a full cup at once. You are trying to soften the broth without drowning the noodles. Another repair is serving less broth and keeping the noodles, egg, and greens as the meal. You do not have to drink every drop. If the noodles are already getting soft, stop the heat and serve immediately. Do not keep simmering just because the egg or greens are not perfect. The noodles will not become springy again. Save what you can by getting them out of the hot pot and eating while the texture is still acceptable.
Serve the bowl as soon as the noodles are springy and the egg is set.
Instant noodles keep drinking broth after they leave the pot. Waiting 5 minutes turns careful timing back into mush. If you want to pause, leave the noodles slightly firmer and keep the broth hot. Then combine right before eating. Finishers should be small. Scallion adds freshness, sesame oil adds aroma, chili oil adds heat, and lime or vinegar adds brightness. None of them fixes overcooked noodles. Use them to make a good bowl better, not to hide a timing problem. The main upgrade is still springy noodles and a just set egg. The order is simple. Loosen noodles early, stop before soft, add greens late, choose either soft egg or egg ribbons, then season by taste. If the bowl was mushy, stop the noodles earlier. If it was too salty, use less packet before adding toppings. Small timing choices turn instant noodles into dinner. That's dinner upgraded. Enjoy the bowl, and I'll see you next time.